Lisa never skipped fast enough to outrun the noise, the shouting, the sirens, the sound of her world crumbling around her. But every morning, just as the sun peeked over the rooftops, she found a moment of silence. Feet tapping lightly against the cracked pavement, her worn sneakers barely making a sound as she skipped rope. The rhythmic slap of the rope against the ground was her heartbeat, her escape, the only thing she could control in a world that never let her breathe. Lisa was 10, but she had already learned things children shouldn't know, like how to disappear when the shouting in her apartment got too loud, how to sleep through hunger, how to make herself small enough to be ignored at school so no one would see the holes in her shoes or the sadness in her eyes. Her mother, Shanice, worked too much, loved too hard, and carried the weight of the world on her shoulders. By the time she made it home from her second shift, her voice was too tired for bedtime stories, her arms too heavy for hugs. Lisa didn't blame her. Life had taken enough from Shanice already, first Lisa's father, then her joy, and now, little by little, her daughter, too. Tia was the only person who saw Lisa. Not just the girl with the same clothes every day, not just the quiet one who never raised her hand in class, but Lisa. The girl who dreamed of flying, of seeing something more than the same 5 blocks of cracked sidewalks and corner stores. Tia was loud, bright, a firework in a world that felt like a never-ending blackout. She made Lisa laugh, made her feel like she mattered. They spent afternoons on the fire escape, eating candy and talking about a future neither of them believed they'd actually see. "One day, we're going to leave this place," Tia had promised, pinky locked with Lisa's. "We'll go somewhere where the streetlights don't hum like broken lullabies." Lisa had wanted to believe her. The day Tia gave her the red skipping rope, Lisa thought maybe, just maybe, she could hold on to hope. It was brand new, bright against her skin, untouched by the streets. "Now you can skip even faster," Tia had grinned. Lisa held on to it like it was her golden ticket out. But hope had never lasted long in their neighborhood. It happened too fast. A car, a flash of movement, the sound of gunfire cutting through the summer air. Lisa had turned just in time to see Tia fall, just in time to hear her name, caught in a breath that never came. The world around her had kept moving, but Lisa felt like she was still standing in that moment, frozen in the space between before and after. No one talked about it. Not her teachers, not her mother, not even the people on the block who had known Tia her whole life. It was like she had never existed, like the street had just swallowed her up and kept moving. Lisa's skipping slowed after that. The red rope, once so full of promise, felt heavier in her hands. The rhythm was off. The jumps didn't feel the same. Every time the rope slapped the pavement, it sounded less like freedom and more like an echo of everything she had lost. At school, Lisa barely spoke. At home, the silence between her and her mother stretched longer. Mr. Hamilton, her teacher, noticed. He saw the way she didn't answer questions anymore, the way her eyes seemed further away than before. He thought about pulling her aside, about asking if she was okay. But thinking never saved anyone. Lisa had started dreaming about skipping higher and higher, so high that she never had to come back down. Maybe if she skipped fast enough, she'd disappear. Maybe she could follow Tia somewhere quieter, somewhere safer. One evening, as the sun dipped low behind the buildings, Lisa walked to the park. The skipping rope was looped around her wrist, trailing behind her like a shadow. The city was quiet in that eerie way it only got when something bad was about to happen. She stood in front of the swings, staring at them for a long time. The wind made the chains creak, a lonely sound in the empty park. She thought about her mother, about how tired she always looked, about how she had stopped asking Lisa about her day, stopped noticing when Lisa didn't eat dinner, stopped looking at her like she was really there. She thought about Tia, about the way she used to laugh so hard she'd fall over, about the way she always said Lisa was going to do something big, something important. Lisa pulled the red rope from her wrist. Skipping had always made her feel like she was flying. And what happens when your feet never touch the ground again? The wind blew gently through the park. The skipping rope swayed. A pair of small sneakers dangled just inches above the pavement, and the city whispered Lisa's name like an apology.